Just want to take the time to go ahead and welcome everybody over to College of the Mainland. Thank you for coming out today. Thank you to all our community members. Thank you to all our staff. Thank you to all our students who have come out. Today we came out to go ahead and honor the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Just to start off today, I just want to go ahead and let our students know, just in case you're here to go ahead and get a signature for one of your classes, please just make sure that you stay towards the end. We'll be signing off on your forms towards the end of the performance today, okay? But to start off today, we're just going to ask that everybody please stand. We're going to start off by listening to the Negro National Anthem. Once again, we would like to thank everybody for coming out today as we celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life. Dr. Martin Luther King dedicated his life towards helping our nation understand the essentialness of freedom, he challenged our nation to move forward and giving freedom to all and executing on what's in the Constitution when it says that we all have are created equal under our Creator. And not only that, but we all have that right to liberty, life. And not only that, but the pursuit of happiness. So today, we want to commemorate everything that he did in his time, in his life. At the time of Dr. Martin Luther King's life, he discussed some of those issues that we face, such as racism, such as loving one another. So today, as we look back at some of the things that he's done in his life, we know that he was celebrated even after his death. When he passed on all over the world, whether it was in London, whether it was in the US, whether it was here in Texas City, we all celebrated his life. In 1968, at College of the Mainland, we had a memorial to go ahead and celebrate him after his death as well. So some of the pictures that you see up here, where you see that College of the Mainland, we have our former students, we have our former administration also honoring him back in 1968 after he passed. They took the time to also create a vigil. In that same spirit today, we want to go ahead and celebrate Dr. King's life, but we wanted to do it in a different manner. We didn't just want to come and say, well, let us tell you facts about Dr. King's life. Instead, we wanted to give you a performance so that you can understand some of the different things that he encountered in his life, but also taking the time to learn it in a different way, in a more engaging way. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to our students who created a great story, a great performance to go ahead and help us learn about some of the great things that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has done in his life.
Stupid.
Hey.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey. Where's Marcus? Where's your brother?
You know
Is he
his nerdy
still in class?
Girl, you know his nerdy stuff is still in there.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Still
What
in
class did you
class.
guys just get out of?
History, it was pretty fun. We got an assigned project to pick an historical figure and teach the class about them.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
what I miss?
Well, you would know if you got out of class sometime. I'm just saying.
All right, look, bro. I know you're not talking about me. I'm on the dean's list, and you on the list of people's parents they gotta call because you acting up in college, bro. Matter of fact, give me the
Hold on,
graphic
hold on,
calculator.
hold on.
I got a graphic.
Look, I know you
I
ain't
gotta get the
talking.
parabellum.
I know you ain't
Guys!
What?
You guys act like children. Marcus, Frank was just letting us know about a project he had for class. Let's be respectful and listen.
Now, anyway.
All right, matter of fact, let's get back to Eddie Murphy right here. I know you were not
so
talking.
annoying.
You got white Air Forces. Where the black Air Forces
Yeah.
at?
What?
Like she was saying, we got tasked to find a historical figure and teach the class about them. So Frank and I decided to do Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be fun to teach the class about the I Have a Dream speech.
Yep.
What about the rest of his life?
Yeah, like, what about his upbringing?
Oh, we never really...
Thought about that. Like, I mean, we were taught about the I Have a Dream speech, and that was pretty much it.
Guys, you do know there's a lot more important parts to Martin Luther King's life than just the I Have a Dream speech.
Yeah.
And that speech wasn't the only speech he had. You know what? If you want, me and Marcus can help you guys out. Our grandmother was actually part of the civil rights movement, and she left us a keepsake book to have before she passed.
Yeah, I can go get it from the car if y'all want.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, I'll be right back.
So what kind of things are in this book?
There's like pictures, documents, letters. In fact, I think there's a letter in there from the time that he was in the Birmingham City Jail.
Wait. He was in jail?
Yeah, he went to jail like 29 times, dude. In 1963, he got arrested for protesting in Birmingham, Alabama.
I was in a Facebook jail. I mean, does that count as the same thing?
No, not at all.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Ugh, no. Wait, so your grandmother was a part of the civil rights movement? Why didn't you ever tell us?
Well, you guys never asked.
Was your grandmother close with MLK?
I think so. As a matter of fact, there's this funny story about our grandmother actually being in love with Martin Luther King. So much in fact, yeah. So much in fact, she wanted my mom to name Marcus after Martin Luther King, but they just kept it Marcus to keep it subtle.
Wow.
You telling that story again?
Wait, is that why your middle name is Luther?
Yes. Okay. Do y'all want our help or not?
Okay, we're sorry. Yes, of course we want your help, but why is that book so dusty?
I know you're not the one talking about being dusty. You lucky I didn't bring the Gold Bonds lotion with that book.
Stop. You too.
Okay,
oh
guys,
my gosh,
it's-
no.
It's dusty because it's old, but you know, let's just blow it off and it'll be fine.
What the heck?
Do you have my neighbor? Marcus, do you have my
Oh my god. Wait. Stop.
Who are you?
Well, my sister, I am the good Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
What?
Yeah, sure, I am Shakira. I'm on tonight, my hips don't lie, I'm starting to...
You should stop.
Wait. Wait. Martin Luther King is dead. You're dead. This don't make sense. Mm-mm.
Well, it is me. It's like how the spirit of the loved ones live on. Or I may be just an hallucination, but that's not important right now. What is important that our brother Frank and our sister Dina have decided to teach a class on me, and I hear they could use some help. Is that true?
Yes, but how do we know that you're the real MLK? Tell us something only he would know.
Yeah.
Well, many people do not know that I had an older sister named Christine and a younger brother named A.D.
Wait. You're a middle child? I'm a middle child too. Wow. Okay, so what else can you tell us?
Yeah.
Well, many people do not know, there's a lot of things they don't know about me.
Okay.
Is your real name Martin Luther?
Well, that's actually a funny story. I bet you wonder if my real name is Martin Luther. Well, it's what really it is. I bet you can't guess my father's real name.
Martin Luther.
Martin
You were a
Luther,
junior,
you're
so
a
Martin
junior.
Luther was.
That's what a lot of people think. But actually, he was born Michael King, and Michael King Jr.
What?
Wait, so he changed it?
Yes, in 1934, after being inspired by the Protestant Reformation leader Martin
gonna
Luther,
look
he
that up.
changed our name to
This makes sense.
Martin Luther, and I, Martin Luther King Jr.
That's amazing. I never learned that before.
Neither have we.
There's a lot of things you probably don't know about me, including that I was also a member of the fraternal organization Alpha Phi Alpha.
Wait. So does that mean you know how to do a step?
You need to stop
Stop.
embarrassing yourself.
It was a very long time ago, but I am certain it did not look like that.
He got roasted by MLK.
Okay, so what's next?
Well, I would like to tell you about special moments in my life, but I think it would be better if I just showed you.
Wait. So you're trying to tell us that we're gonna time travel?
Time travel.
Well, I like to call it reminiscing, but well, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Where are we going? Well, actually, when are we going?
Let's start off with 1929 for a few facts about my birth. I was born January 15th, 1929, to my father and my mother, Alberta.
Nice.
Your father and your mother. Okay.
Yes.
And you weren't the only child. Okay. So what else can you tell us?
Well, as we go forward in time, ready to go forward in time? Let's go forward in time.
Whoa!
We are 1947, and I'm in my final year of Morehouse College, and I decided to enter the ministry.
Ministry.
Yes, it was my final year.
Wait, so your final year, that would mean that you started college when you were like 15.
Yes, back in 1944, Morehouse was eager to fill their classrooms due to so many men away at the war. So any high school junior that passed their exam test was admitted to the college. I passed that test, and at 15, I enrolled at Morehouse College. And in 1957, I was asked to be the pastor at Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. And it was there that my views were formed on how to use civil rights and the ministry to combat racism.
1954? Wasn't that the year when you joined the NAACP?
National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. That's right, get it right.
And you got elected to lead the Montgomery bus boycott, right?
You certainly do know your history there, Marcus.
Wow.
Wait, Marcus, how did you know all of that?
1954 was the year that he met my grandmother.
She was very fond of you, sir.
I appreciate your admiration, Marcus.
Yeah, so where to next, Dr. King?
Well, I would like to show you the Selma March, but before that, let me tell you, in 1957, I formed the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. But the Selma March is very important as well.
1957. Between 1959 and the early 60s, didn't you travel to India, was it, to reconnect and practice Gandhi's doctrine of nonviolent protest?
Yes, you certainly do give off
heard of that.
more information than you know. If you keep this up, you may end up teaching me.
Could you imagine us teaching the great Martin Luther King Jr.? Insane!
All right, let's travel one more time. Kids, welcome to Selma, 1965.
This
Whoa, whoa.
this looks a lot like Ferguson, Missouri in 2014 with all the riots. What? How can people be this cruel?
And why aren't the marches defending themselves?
They can't defend themselves. If they do, they'll be seen as public threats and they'll lose the little advantage they do have.
Sad.
Dr. King, what was the Selma March about?
Well, the Selma March was basically focused on registering back black voters. And in 1964, they passed the Voters' Right of 1964, which banned discrimination based on race. And so we came together and we decided that we were going to combat it, although we were met with a lot of resistance against states like Alabama.
So what did you do?
Well, we focused our entire incorporation around the Selma March. We used my profile to draw international attention. I had just won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, and so eventually the marches paid off. And so in 1965, Congress passed the Voting Rights of 1965, which helped federal mandate and, of course, brought in the voting.
Dr. King, if it weren't for your efforts, segregation would probably still be going on as of now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. King, for everything, especially today, because we have more than enough info to teach our class today.
Yeah.
It actually warms my heart to see that future generations are so invested in the past. Hey, before I go, would you like to hear a story about the night before I was assassinated?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, many of you know the next person that I'm going to introduce. He's a professor here at COM. His name is Dr. Bernie Smiley.
Thanks, Dr. King. There's an old saying that says that religious leaders have to have two things simultaneously. They have to be perfectly confident in what they're saying, and they have to have perfect humility. Without the perfect confidence, people won't hear them and won't believe what they have to say. But without perfect humility, they won't be able to connect with people. Jesus not only said that he was the way, but he washed the feet of lepers. Martin Luther King Jr. was exactly this sort of religious leader. A story was told to me by Billy Kyles, the last guy to see Dr. King alive. King was in Memphis on the day of his death for a garbage workers strike. At the time, the garbage workers were making very little money, had no days off, and were mostly African American. He was there to help support their rights. The night before, the night he gave the famous mountaintop speech, he spent the evening at Billy Kyle's house. Now, Billy Kyle's was a reverend in Memphis, Tennessee, and he tells this great story that he told to me. Dr. King and he were talking, and Dr. King had agreed to come to Memphis, and so Billy Kyle's had said, "I'll feed you." So the night of the mountaintop speech, before the speech, Dr. King went over to Billy Kyle's house. Billy Kyle's wife had cooked, and it was good food. Now, it had been raining a lot. It had rained for a couple of days, and so the ground was soaked. There was a little bit of flooding. Dr. King finishes dinner. Billy Kyle stands up and says, "Okay, it's time to go preach. It's time to go to the church. People are waiting to hear what you have to say." And Dr. King said, "You go." Now, Billy Kyles was confused about this. He said, I don't understand. And Dr. King says, "Well, there's not going to be anybody there." Billy Kyles says, Dr. King says, "It's been raining all day. There's not going to be anybody there." Now, I don't know about you, but can you imagine being at a place in your life, having a chance to see Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. speak up close and personal and not going because it was raining? I can't either. But Billy Kyle says, fine, I'll go. But if there's people at that church, I'm calling this house and you're coming down there to talk. So of course Billy Kyle gets in his car, drives through the rain to his church, and he gets there, and it's not just full, it's packed. There's people on the pews, there's people in the aisles, and there's people waiting outside. There are people outside who can't even get into the church, getting rained on, solely to be able to hear this one man speak. Billy Kyles calls Dr. King and says, "Would you please get over here? There's people waiting for you." Dr. King comes in, and off the top of his head gives what is considered to be one of the most memorable speeches in American history. That mountaintop speech was off the top of his head. You'll notice if you watch the video, there's no paper. There's no script. It's all right there. He looks just a little damp. That's not sweat. He'd come in out of the rain, and he gave this impassioned speech. The next day, he's shot at the Lorraine Motel. Billy Kyles is there when it happened, and he's credited as being the last person to see Dr. King alive. Billy Kyles died in 2016, having been a lifelong pastor of his church in Memphis, Tennessee. A few years before that, I got a chance to meet Dr. Kyles, along with my wife. And this is the story that he tells about the time Martin Luther King Jr. was both confident but also humble. Thanks.
Well, that was a nice word from Dr. Smiley. But before I go, is there anything else that you'd like to know?
Actually, we was hoping we can show you something.
These are all influential leaders of the present that you helped inspire. If it weren't for your first steps, Dr. King, none of this would be possible.
Thank you.
Okay, Ashton Kutcher. Say them. LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Basketball player. LeBron has been donating to charities for years. He donated $41 million to Ohio University, Akron to help pay for scholarships for students. Opened the I Promise School in 1918.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Actor, producer, environmentalist Leonardo DiCaprio continuously uses his image and money to combat climate change. She has been advocating clean water for Flint, Michigan. The city's been without clean water since 2014.
Barack Obama.
First black president of the United States, founded the Obama Foundation in 2014. Former basketball player Kobe Bryant, philanthropist, producer, won an Oscar for the short film Dear Basketball, shared the Mamba Academy to train young athletes and inspire the youth.
So yeah, we just wanted to show you that.
Yep.
It really does warm my heart that the youth of today seems to be in good hands. I'm glad it all amounted to something.
Wait, you never showed us the March to Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I have a better idea. The youth of today has been standing on the shoulders of those in the past for a very long time. I think it's time to stand on your own 2 feet. How would you like to start a march of your own?
Wow.
You're trying to start the march? Because I'm down.
Starting a march.
Let's do it.
Our own.
I think that's the direction of today, headed into tomorrow, and the youth of today are needed to lead us into tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So kids, what did you think of that?
It was amazing.
I think it's time to hand off the mic. We've done all we can do. There's more for it to be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, 56 and a half years ago, Dr. King expressed his disappointment with race relations and the freedom of African Americans. He led a movement against a system of discrimination, segregation, and an unfair justice system. We have seen progress thanks to Dr. King and the efforts of our ancestors. But 56 and a half years later, we face some of those very same injustices to this day. In 2020, we face issues like equality, voter suppression, equal rights, violence against women and children, bullying, stereotypes, mental health stigmas, and environmental issues, just to name a few. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come a long way, but I have a dream that one day we can live out the dream Dr. King envisioned for us. We've come a long way, but we can do better. Thank you.
Wow.
Wow.
That
Was,
Amazing.
yeah.
So you think you have enough information to teach your class?
Yeah, we have more than enough. We learned that his name not even Martin. His name was really Michael. Like, we have more than enough to teach the class.
Okay.
like the king of pop.
You're never gonna get a
Don't,
girlfriend.
don't do that ever again. Not only that, not only the fact that his name was Michael, but just all the other things and the other speeches, and that the speech in '63, the I Have a Dream speech in '63, and the Selma March in '65. So we're going to use all of that information.
So far, so good.
Absolutely.
If you really want to woo your class, though,
Like Ric Flair.
woo!
Who is that?
He always got to bring up some, I don't know, but
Who is Rick Flair?
if you want to woo your class, you should bring up the Billy College story.
Oh yeah, I can use that. Thank you guys. You guys did more than enough for us. Thank you so very much. We couldn't even thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, if you want to thank us, you know, you can take us out to lunch.
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry. I mean,
Yeah.
history, they get kind of,
Take you out of
they don't serve Whataburger in the 1960s. I don't know.
I mean, we can take you out to lunch as long as you don't be all bougie and try to get the whole menu, right? Just live it.
I see how it is.
Dollar menu, you know.
Right.
Just saying, I ain't stutter. I just,
You know what?
I
Grab your backpack. Come on, go.
Okay, we can go get some food, but it's just saying, like, y'all eat too much. You can't do it.
Hey, Marcus, you coming?
Oh, yeah, I just, let me finish reading this book real quick. You know how I like to finish stuff.
Yeah. Well, you got the key, so hurry up.
Okay. What's your dream?
I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will live in a country where they'll be judged not by the color of their skin, but the content of their character.
I have a dream that today kids won't be ashamed of their status.
I have a dream that one day women will be able to wear whatever they want, walk wherever they want, without being scared of what will happen.
I have a dream that we will celebrate each other's heritage.
I have a dream that each person finds their purpose and follows it with their own desire.
And I have a dream that one day everyone will be able to afford proper education.
I have a dream that one day there will be accessible health care for all.
I have a dream that mental health won't be seen as such a stigma, that we won't talk about it and get people the help that they need.
I have a dream that World War III won't start in 2020.
I have a dream that everyone will be treated equally no matter of their sex or their age or anything that may make them different.
I have a dream that all people should have the same healthcare opportunities.
I have a dream where everyone gets treated equally.
I have a dream that we'll all be outspoken.
I have a dream one day we will have a better education.
I have a dream that I'll be successful and make my parents proud.
I have a dream that you will see beyond my gender.
I have a dream that my kids will have equal rights.
I have a dream to be a world champion.
I have a dream that everyone will be accepted for who they are.
I have a dream that we don't measure a person by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
I have a dream that one day everybody will have access to free education.
I have a dream for everyone to be successful.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out today. If we could just get the cast to come back in real quick. Yeah, give them a round of applause. So, back in December, the Multicultural Committee approached some of us in the theater because they said, we want to do something different for the MLK celebration this year. So we had our first meeting, and together we came up with the idea, well, Mia had the idea for a play that goes through the important points of MLK's life. So we sat down, we got to writing, and then eventually we came up with a script. We started rehearsing. These people, amazing, like took time out of their busy schedules. And they're like, you know what, let's do this. We're gonna make sure this is the best it can be. We get to this day, and we were just so happy to put on this performance for all of y'all. And there's not much more to say except thank you to the cast, the Multicultural Committee, the Fine Arts Department. Yes, give them a round of applause. The Multimedia Department. Thank you for everyone here at COM, and a special thank you to Mr. Sparky Kerner for taking time out of his day to give us some awesome music as a soundtrack to this play. With that being said, is there anything else? Hand it off to Joel? No, that's it? All right, enjoy your food. Thank you for coming out to support, and have an awesome day.